Hey, what's up guys, it's Jsmith, and I just want to make a video on Advanced Govaho because in one of my previous videos I made a video on Govaho, and that video really just covers some of the basics and really just to get you started in using Govaho and just get you to grasp the initial concept overall. But in this video I really want to go over the more advanced and the thought process, especially when you're approaching bases for war, and how you should go about attacking bases, and how you should even consider more or less your army composition when you're going to attack bases. So as you can see, I got a 6-pack this war, and I'll show you how, and this is how I actually used it using Govaho. And so one of the main things you really want to consider when using Govaho is you want to get out some key components with your Gova part of the raid, and with that being the clan castle, the queen, and at least an expo. You always want to shoot to get an expo, and if not an expo, at least a decent amount of point defenses, because you want to give your hogs as much breathing room as possible. And another key thing that you should really try to consider when going in with Govaho is, you see these spaces right here in the middle of the base. This either means that there's either going to be, I'd say there's a good chance there's either going to be Teslas or giant bombs in these key compartments in the base, with these double spaces in between the towers. So when I saw this base, I saw that there was an easy clan castle pull. So what I did here is I actually pulled the clan castle and dragged it to the top, and then that's when I proceeded with my kill squad and entered the base. So as we get started, you'll see that I dropped the hog down, pulled the clan castle, and then I dropped an archer at the top, so that way I could drag the electro dragon and just get that out the way, and now I can just focus on worrying about taking out the queen and some of the rest of the key components of the base. So as you can see, at this point I'm starting to drop down the wizards on each side to start the funnel. And one of the most important things when using Govaho is you really need to make sure that you funnel correctly, because if your Valks don't go into the middle of the base and get what you want them to do, it's just very unlucky. And so as you can see here, I actually dropped a Valkyrie a little bit too early, but that's another really important thing, is you want to make sure you drop a test Valkyrie down, just to make sure that when you do place your Valkyries in a bunch, that they'll go to where you want them to go. So as you can see, I was like, okay, that did not work out to where I wanted it to go, and then I tested another one. I saw locked onto the queen, so I dropped the clan castle, also filled with the rest of the Valkyries, and proceeded with the base. So as you can see, going in with that, and then I'm going into the middle of the base with the Valkyries and starting to clear out the core of the base. And another thing that I did here is, and this is something you can definitely consider when you're attacking bases, is actually swapping your kings with the opposing player. Because as you can see, this king here was pretty exposed, and it's worth it to not have that king just annoying your hogs, so it's worth it to just consider trading your king, especially when it's really exposed like that. So as you can see, putting my king down as my Valks go in, and that's when I start my hogging phase of really just going into the base. So king's taking care of the other king, and then as you can see, Valks doing what I want them to do and clearing out those bombs in the middle of the core. So dropping those hogs on the point defenses, and as you can see, I know that there's a heavy amount of damage in this compartment, so I know I'm gonna have to heal here. So this is going in, and then drop the first heal down because there's a lot of damage in here, and as you can see, queen is still going to work on the core of this base. And at this portion right here, there's so many gaps that you have to account for giant bombs in here, and so you always want to be careful when there's this many gaps. So as you can see, didn't end up being any giant bombs in there, where if I was the designer of this base, I probably would implement some there, because you have so many defenses in there, but only need to use 2 of the heal spells, swag the last 2 spells, and that was a GG on that base, absolutely crushed it. And so as we go into the next one, as you can see, this is a 9.5, and on this raid I actually used one golem. And it's important to consider switching up your Govaho strategy, especially in your kill squad and just overall composition, because sometimes it's good to bring minions, and the fact that maybe they have exposed cannons, and like, let's say this is a cannon, so I could use a minion and just take out these buildings and have an easy funnel for cheap. But in this one, I realized I couldn't really get that much value with the kill squad, so what I did is that I brought one golem and I brought extra hogs this raid, just because I just want to make sure I had that little bit of extra oomph, because I knew that my Gova part of the raid wouldn't be able to get that much out of this base because it's split like this. And so as you can see, when I approach this base, as you can see, it's split and clan castle, so I knew it's an easy kill squad decision going from here, and then I can just approach the rest of the base with the hogs going from the top right, and then it's just a counterclockwise motion down the base. So what I did is, because that archer tower can't reach, one wizard there to get both of those buildings and put the golem down. So as we go in, first wall breaker was a test. I brought extra wall breakers here because, as you can see, that archer queen is in range of that wall. And so as you can see, one goes down, snipes one, and then we got one more. And here we go. So we broke in, and then we're doing the wall Valkyries because we got the funnel in, and then we dropped the rest of them in because they're funneling into that elixir storage. And then what I could have done here a little bit better is I could have dropped wizards a little bit earlier on this wizard tower, just because it would have just reduced just that little bit of damage. Even the smallest mistakes can cost a raid sometimes. As you can see, that clan castle's pulled, and that's going to work. Wizards are on that tower now, so that's going to get taken care of. And I actually forgot to take care of, I forgot to use my Barbarian King ability this raid. And so as I did this hogging here, because it's a Town Hall 10, those double giant bombs can actually kill Town Hall 9 max hogs. So I knew that with these big holes where there could be possible double giant bombs, I had to be extra careful and just take this just a little bit more of a strategic hog approach. So put in some right there, and then I'm also going to enter in hogs from the top side just in case there is some double giant bombs there. So that's going in. First heal going in. Could have been a little better, but not complaining. Wizards going down to help clean up on the outside, and some extra hogs on the top just to try to get rid of the top portion of that. See, that heal could have been placed definitely a little bit better, but can't really complain. Something that's really important to do when you're doing this strategy is make sure you save one poison, so that way when these skeletons get spawned, you can destroy them, because skeletons can ruin your hog raid. They really can, and they're the worst. It's the worst feeling to lose to that, because when you crush a base but your hogs are low at the end of it, but there's a ton of skeletons just beating up your hogs, and you lose the raid. So always make sure you save one skeleton, and you always have some cleanup troops ready to go. As you can see, dropping some archers on the outside, wizards going on as well, and then here we are just cleaning up and going through the rest of this base. Could have been a little bit better, but as you can say, always strive for perfection, always try to be better. And what I'm going to do after this raid is I'm actually going to do a live raid, so I'll see you guys in the next clip. And so now what I want to do is I just want to go ahead and do a live raid for you guys and really just talk about my thought process out as I go into a raid, and I'll try to pick a pretty hard Town Hall 9, one with a decent base. So hopefully I can find one. Hopefully it's pretty much higher level. So this one looks decent, looks pretty max. So let's see how I can approach this. I have 2 golems. Let's see. So I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna approach from the bottom and jump to the top. So let's see how we can do this here. So if I approach from the corner, you have to funnel in extra wide. So we're gonna put these 2 golems down on the corners and then start this funnel process like that, and then start with the wizards on the corners so we can get this going. So put a wall breaker, first one to test, then another one, and that should break in. And then here we go. Now that we got the compartment opened up, gonna try to go into that center compartment and see what we can do here. So now that they're tanking, gonna start the hog process, wrapping across this base. Giant bomb went down. Heal could have been a little better. But it's okay. We're going in. Troops are still alive inside. Had to put that down. And then this should be a 3 for sure. Easy raid here, guys. As you can see, going as planned. You just have to make sure you take it step by step and heal accordingly, because once you get that inside of the base destroyed, really just the rest of the hogs can do the rest of the work, and from there it's just a wrap. Because as long as that Govaho part takes out the clan castle and the heroes, it doesn't even have to be the king all the time. The king's just an added bonus, but it just can make your life so much smoother. This attack strategy is so strong, and what we'll do is we even throw in a little swag poison right there, because we absolutely we crushed this base. Obviously could have done it a little bit better. I typically plan for my war attacks, but here we go. This just shows you, even against a basically maxed out defense wise Town Hall 9, this strategy can go to work. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you learned something, please let me know, and if you have any ideas for future videos, I'd love to hear them. Please leave a like, please subscribe if you learned something, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.